Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am making this video a little earlier than it's going to go up. I have been invited to join the 7-day video YouTube challenge. Let's get the correct name of this. 7-day challenge, maybe? Let's find out what it's called. 7-day upload challenge by Melissa and Beth, and it's Diamond Nana and Beth Minton. And so I need to have 7 videos over the course of April 1st through April 7th, which is really that's not a big leap for me. Sorry. I'll tell you about what I'm working on in a moment. That's really not a big leap for me because I usually put up a stitch and chat and at least 1 to 2 book reviews every day. So joining in this challenge isn't a big leap. It becomes a big leap when I feel anxious about what I will put into that 7-day challenge. So since I already have a video scheduled to go up this morning, I will probably post this video on Saturday. Now, what I am working on right now is a Carolyn Manning project, and it is called Bear Tracks. I think at least 2 other people are working on it, possibly even 3. And Tia's Crazy Craft Addiction, I think that's her Instagram name. I say something and then I go verify it. Yeah, I'm a fact checker. Tia. Yeah, Crazy Craft Addiction. Yep. And I think that's all I need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that's all I need for this color. So we will put our floss somewhere, and then we snip it later. Okay, so this started, I believe, March 1st, maybe even February 1st for all I know. And I am not putting 100% of my energies into this because I rotate my work, my projects. I have a little bit of an attention issue, so I cannot focus on just one thing. All right, number 3 is 327. I can't focus on just one thing, so I am doing multiple projects at the same time. And so for all I know, this project could be done, and I don't know. I don't know. I have to go to her Instagram page and find out. But the way that I decided to rotate my projects is in my little floss cases. Like I have the huge floss case that a lot of us have, but I also have quite a few of the smaller floss cases. And in the smaller floss cases, I have 3 projects each. So it dawned on me that when I have a case out, to work those 3 projects that are in that case. So what I started the other day was I worked on Laundry Cats by Doreen Jones, and then I worked on Julie Heaton's Birdhouse yesterday, and now I am working on Bear Tracks. And then when I'm done, just checking my floss, when I'm done with Bear Tracks, then I will work on my next 3. Or I will work, actually I might not. I kind of think I might want to work on my Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery stuff. I have 3 or 4. 4. I have 3 that I've started and 1 that is a stitch along that we just got the drop about a week ago. So I have 4. Okay, just looking at Pattern Keeper. Now, before I start this stitch, this floss has been used already, so I can't use the loop method. So I will start it right here. I will throw it in this spot here, if I can find the hole, because it's black fabric. So I take this and I leave a little bit of a tail, okay, and then I go into where the stitch is going to be, and I hold on to that tail, and that way I can work from the front and never have to flip my fabric. And that's why you see all these random pieces of floss I have to thank Stitch Bugback, a Korean creator, content creator on YouTube. I just watch her sometimes, and she's got all of this stuff all over the place, and I'm like, what is she doing? But just everything, when it's usually ASMR, but when she does talk, it's in Korean, so she's not teaching me verbally, but just watching her change my style, and that's why you see me working from the front. So anyway, like I said, I'm working on this one. I started it. I was going to do this anyway, and then Tia was going to do a stitch along. I don't know where that stands now, as I said. And I even bought 2 other Carolyn Manning projects, so I will be doing quite a few of Carolyn Manning's works. And I am going to be doing a floss tube video in a little while. That'll probably go up on Sunday or Monday. Saturday or Sunday, I should say. So when I put the floss tube video out, I will talk about all the existing projects that I've done for the first quarter of 2022 rather, and also projects that I'm going to be starting, like the new Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Under the Sea. So that's exciting. But I wanted to talk about something else too. Is on Wednesday, I started a book called Truly Madly by Stephen Galloway. It's a biography of Laurence Olivier and Vivian Leigh. And I was only going to read, I'd like to get to 33%, 1/3 of a book, if I know I want to read it in more than one sitting. I just usually try to get to 33%. And that was Wednesday night, and I didn't start it till about 8 or 9, maybe even later. But the problem was it was so good that I could not stop. So I missed all my Wednesday night shows. I just could not stop. So I literally read that book until I was done, which was like 1 or 2 in the morning. And it was that good. It really was. So yesterday I knew that I wanted to I wanted to catch the shows that I missed Wednesday night, like Survivor and the Chicago shows, if they were on, or whatever shows that I would have missed, I wanted to catch. I never caught The Good Doctor or This Is Us this week, because this week is more dedicated to reading than it is anything else. So yesterday morning when I got up, I made 2 book review videos, edited and uploaded those, and then I made my stitch and chat video. I don't edit the videos that I'm making like here, because this is on Windows and I have not yet learned. Just marking my pattern on Pattern Keeper. I don't know how to edit yet on my laptop. Okay, before I continue that thought. So you see these loose threads? So like I need to put in 3 rows of the next color, which is 340. So I'm ending the stitch right here. So I am just going to put this here. I'm going to snip it right here. And when I stitch this area, there's 4 pieces of floss here, 4 different colors. They look 3 purples, but they're 4 different, whatever, anyway. They're going to be secured by me stitching over that. So that's thanks to Stitch Bugback. Stitch Bugback is, this is my second attempt on this video, because my camera wasn't on when I was talking at first, but if I didn't say it in this video, Stitch Bugback is a Korean creator, and she does things different than I had ever seen since I learned how to cross stitch, and that's what I'm doing here. So I said I need 340, so let me get that before I finish my thought. So I think I was saying that, I don't know what I was saying. Nah, I lost my thought. But I wanted to watch my shows that I missed on Wednesday. So I said, what better time to sit down and work on my jigsaw puzzle? So before I was ready to work on my jigsaw puzzle, I wanted to finish the birdhouse, the Lucy Heaton birdhouse. Did I? No, I didn't finish that till last night. Nope, that's a lie. I worked on it for a while and then I went to watch TV and work on my jigsaw puzzle. I don't have a TV in my office, so uh, since my puzzle table is in my bedroom, that was a good time for me to watch TV. Now, I can very easily watch my Verizon shows or any shows, Hulu, Verizon, Netflix, Disney, on one of my tablets or my laptop, but I really want to start doing my jigsaw puzzles and my diamond painting. I really want to rotate them into my sorry, got a needle in my mouth. I really want to rotate my hobbies more than I have been because the only thing I ever really want to do is stitch. So I went in and went to work on my puzzle, and the first thing I watched was Survivor. Then I watched This Is Us, and then The Good Doctor, and then a few other shows until I was caught up with primetime TV. There's a couple of shows that I'm not caught up on, but I wasn't really interested in doing that yesterday. Why can I not thread this particular piece of floss? It will not go in the needle. So I am going to use my needle, my threader. A lot of times I would just do it manually on my own, but it's not cooperating, so we're just going to use a little tool so we can, okay. And it still didn't go in. This is not working. What is going on, Robin? So I caught up on my shows and I finished the birdhouse probably about 7 o'clock or maybe 6 o'clock. I finished the birdhouse, which is number 7 of 9. And then I started on this, and then, okay, just looking at pattern keeper. Okay, so we're gonna start this here. So I'm just going to just go into any spot so that I can make a tail. So there's my tail, and now I can start this. So while I was watching my shows, I was in a stream, and a live stream, and a subject came up about Bruce Willis having aphasia. And I mistakenly said, oh, so-and-so on this YouTube channel's little girl has that condition. And it became a bone of contention with one person. And the subject was dropped and other things were discussed, and 20, 30, 40 minutes later, the subject came back up. And I had the wrong disorder, apraxia versus aphasia. And they're both neurological conditions, but they're totally different, similar in some ways, but very different in many ways. And I don't know what, yesterday was a pain day, okay? I woke up in all kinds of nerve pain. My fibro pain is the worst pain that I experience. I say the worst pain that I experience because I get migraines. I have lots of back and knee problems. I have stomach problems. But when I have fibro pain, I'm just not good company. And when that second discussion started on what I thought was a dead issue, I was like, oh yeah, you're right. I didn't say, yeah, you're right. I'm like, oh yeah, I mixed up the two words. And then somebody further corrected me, and I said, yes, I mixed up the two words. I think I repeated myself. And I said, I am aware. Well, Those were the wrong 3 words to use. And I upset a boatload of people. And I'm telling on myself for a specific reason. When I upset the people, I over apologized. In other words, the more I apologized, the worse I made my situation. And I'm explaining this, but I'm not making myself a victim. I'm admitting that I made a poor choice of words on an issue that personally has no impact on my life in any way whatsoever. So with regard to my life and my situations and my experiences and my connections, it doesn't matter. Of course, it matters to those who are affected by these neurological conditions, but it just wasn't important enough to upset people. So I could not make peace with those 3 words, I am aware. I just kept making everything worse. So I got very, 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 very despondent. I am very easily triggered. I realized that I probably triggered other people. Now, this video is probably not going to go up for a couple of days because I'm doing this upload challenge, and I've got like things in front of this videos that are already scheduled. And I don't know if the people that I offended, and I say people, I mean a couple of people, will even see this video or when they'll see it. So I just want to make that clear. So I'm not making this video to exonerate myself, because that's not the point of me telling you about it. Words can hurt, especially when we're typing on a computer and we're not seeing other people's facial expressions and other people are not seeing our facial expressions. Social media can also be poison because you can get so caught up in something that has no impact on your life, but feelings can get hurt. And that's what I did, is I offended somebody and I hurt someone's feelings. And instead of me just walking away and taking a breather, I kept trying to fix it, but I wasn't. See, when you make an apology, it should be humble. And I'm going to talk about that word humble and the word humility in a moment. But what I tend to do is I try to justify myself, and that's wrong. Okay? It's wrong of me to try to justify myself. So, over the course of the next few hours, different direct messages were going on, and it just got really bad. So I had finished all my primetime shows, and I'm like, well, I'm going to watch a couple episodes of Bridgerton. And I think I got into the 3rd episode, which to me is episode 5, because I had already watched 1 and 2. And when that episode was finishing, I was about to go on to episode number 6. But here's the catch. It was Thursday night, my meeting night. My last Zoom meeting night, because we go back to in-person meetings as of April 1st today. So that means next Thursday we'll be at the Kingdom Hall. I had a choice to do the right thing and to sign into my meeting, or continue binge watching a television show. But the Bible says, seek first the kingdom and all other things will be added to you. So I signed into my meeting. We had 2 talks last night. Well, we had a lot of talks last night. But the very first talk was remain humble. No, that was not the first one. Wait, yeah. Wait a minute. Give me a second. Because there were 2. Okay. The first talk was remain humble when successful. And then the second one that I want to talk about was a work that calls for humility. It was time for me to be counseled by God, by Jehovah God, because I showed a lack of humility, a lack of Christian decorum. And I was so in awe of, because I did not study ahead of time like I should have, so I was not aware that we were going to talk about humility last night. Well, I say last night, but this video is not going up today. But anyway, I wasn't aware that the meeting was going to cover that topic. And never mind did it cover that topic, but it covered it twice. So, while the meeting was going on, I approached the 3 people that I offended, and I told them that I was listening to Bible talks on humility. And with one person that is familiar with the Kingdom Hall, I gave her the link to jw.org for the information. Uh-oh. My floss separated. I've got to flip my... Sorry. I just felt that it was one strand. Somehow or another, my floss separated. I don't usually have to flip my canvas, but I did now because I made a mistake somehow. So, the first thing I did is I went to those 3 people and I said, listen, I'm being taught by Jehovah about humility. And I had already apologized through the course of the day, but this apology was way different because it was being backed by Bible counsel. And everybody was receptive to my apology. And one person that I thought was going to be like really angry with me more than anybody was very instrumental in helping me to feel like I could overcome what happened yesterday. So when I say I learned 2 things last night, I learned number 1 is my meetings come first, which I already know that, but I was reminded of that. And now I can go back to work because my stitches... Okay. So anyway, I learned that don't let my depression keep me from going to my meetings, whether on Zoom or when we go back in person. Don't let my despondency and my self-pity keep me from doing the right thing. And so that was one of the things that I learned. But then I learned something else. Like with the second talk in particular, it talks about humility as a quality that helps us to endure unpleasant situations. Now this is talking about the preaching work, but I like to try to apply things to me. It also talked about applying humility when dealing with rudeness. And the way I looked at that one is applying humility when there's a difference of opinion. Remember, I'm applying Bible counsel to myself, not to anyone else. So how could I have handled yesterday that situation better? Is with that difference of opinion, I should have just kept my mouth shut. Bottom line. But here's my problem. No. Here's one of my many, 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 many problems, because I'm a work in progress. Okay, I can't see this hole for this. Black fabric is difficult to work with. All right. One of my many problems is I am stubborn and obstinate, and I'm strong-willed, and I'm opinionated. I think I just listed 4 problems. 4 very, very bad personality flaws. The subject came up about aphasia in Bruce Willis, and I mistakenly said that somebody's child had that disorder. And the opinion of one person is, no, they don't. Nobody really thinks she does. They think the diagnosis was wrong or whatever. I never acknowledged what she said because I didn't agree with her. I didn't disagree with her. I just didn't acknowledge what she said. So the subject was changed just in the course of subjects, evolving. And then all of a sudden the subject comes back up and she corrects me and I'm like, yeah, I mixed up the two terms. And then someone else corrected me immediately after. And I said, yes, I mixed up the two terms. I am aware. And those 3 words, this goes to show you about social media. When you don't really know someone well, or you're behind a keyboard, words can hurt. And I chose 3 words that caused hurt. And those words were, I am aware. But somewhere in here I read, paragraph 4 in this article says, avoid arrogance. Okay? It also tells us that we should not look down on anybody. And we should speak injuriously of no one. That is Titus chapter 2, verse 2. And it says that we should be lowly in heart, which is Matthew 11, 28 and 29. So, I showed arrogance and a lack of humility. I showed rudeness and I showed unkindness. Now, I knew all of that when it happened, but I wasn't able to convey my sorrow for causing the offense. My apology came with explanations and I guess maybe even excuses, like I wasn't feeling well. I had literally gotten less than 2 hours of sleep, maybe 2.5 hours of sleep the night before. So I was using those excuses, which in turn was, to me, in my self-recrimination, maybe, if I can use that term, I was using those excuses for my behavior. But it wasn't so much that I was trying to be rude or trying to be arrogant or trying to not be showing lowliness of mind. I wasn't trying to be a know-it-all or overlord. I wasn't trying to do any of those things. I just used the wrong words, and because I had upset somebody once, that ball, okay, let's talk about bowling. Depending on how you throw your bowling ball, right, it picks up speed. And the more speed that it picks up, the better chance you have of a strike or a spare, right? Well, my words were like that bowling ball. They kept picking up speed, but in the wrong direction. I could not backtrack what I did. So when I was listening to these Bible talks, I messaged the people that I knew who were most affected and tried to make peace, and I believe I did. But more than that is, in the Lord's Prayer, I want to just get that really quickly. I think it's Matthew. It says that, forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. Okay? I can't ask God to show mercy on me or be forgiving towards me if I haven't shown that same spirit towards others. I also feel that if I'm going to have a good, clean conscience, then I have to consider other people's feelings. And I was inconsiderate of other people's feelings. So that was my story from yesterday. Because I wish I could talk to these people instead of typing to these people. it's still bothering me, so I didn't go to sleep last night. So I've been awake for a good 36 hours, maybe, I don't know, a long time. And I might go into a mania phase. It's, you know, when you don't sleep and you have bipolar disorder, mania can come very easily. But that's my experience from yesterday. And I am so thankful that God's organization had that information so that I could get the reminders that I need to be a better person. And like I said, whoops, I don't know what that was. Oh, that was my glasses. I guess I should pick them up. I want to be a better person. I want to be somebody that shows respect to others and kindness to others and dignity. And I lacked, my Christian decorum was found lacking yesterday. And I really humbly and truly apologize to anybody that was there or anybody that watched that in replay. And all I can do is to try to do better, you know, is to chalk it up to learn to just let somebody else have their opinion. Even if I don't agree with their opinion, I don't have to correct their opinion. I need to learn to use better words when you're typing, because people cannot see your facial expressions or your countenance. They can't see any of that. I just need a needle to get that loose thread. Let me get those threads really quickly. People can't see your countenance when you're typing on a keyboard. So I have to remember that. And that's where I'm at today. Oh my goodness, this video is 32 minutes. So I guess I'm going to end it here. I don't know if anybody's going to watch it to the end, but if you did, forgive me for going 32 minutes. I'm very bothered by hurting other people's feelings, and I wanted to talk about it because I made some really, really bad judgment calls yesterday, and I really am sorry. So I'm going to end this video. I got a lot of other videos to make today, so I guess I better hop to it. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.